The Joe Rogan Experience.
And that's why, if you are truly left-leaning, and if you truly care about getting a left-leaning government in power, you need to make it about class again. Because this is one of the reasons why, like Titania, I wanted her to be posh and rich, you know, because they're so rich, these people, predominantly. They've got so much money.
Because if you have real problems, this is not what you concentrate on.
Like, you're not worried about manspreading. Like, who worries about that stuff? Like, someone on the poverty line doesn't care about this stuff. They don't care about being represented by the skin color of, say, like, you know, some poor working class mother who can't afford anything isn't going to care that Hillary Clinton's in the White House. She's not going to think, oh, well, that's okay, then I'm represented. That's great.
Well, some of them would. Some of them would like it because it will make them feel like a woman can get by.
I get that.
And get through.
That's the aspirational message that it sends. I think that's fine. But you're still stuck on the poverty line with nothing. You know, I mean, it's like poor black Americans didn't do very well under Obama. This stuff is tokenism when what you should be doing is sort of directing at inequality, and it's a big problem both here and in the UK. You know, we've got a left movement. I mean, we saw it with Brexit. You know, like the reason why so many working class people voted for Brexit and indeed voted against Labour in the last election is because no one's looking out for their interests anymore. Right. They're worried about other things like you say, mansplaining, like toxic masculinity.
Mansplaining is hilarious.
It's just
explaining if you're a man. If you correct someone and they're incorrect and you're a man.
Yeah, but what if they're wrong?
Mansplaining. Well, then you're still mansplaining.
Well, that's not how we can't live like that. I can't live like that. I can't.
Where does it go? Does it become a religious war? Are we in a holy war for wokeness?
I know, but I don't want to have to check the contents of someone's underwear every time I have a discussion with them. You know, I don't want to make those judgments on that basis.
Well, you need to understand and check yourself because the contents of someone's underwear does not mean that that's the gender in which they identify.
It doesn't.
With. You piece of shit.
I know.
You already fucked it up.
That's it. I don't know. I don't know.
You're going to cancel yourself now? You should.
Well, I've already been cancelled. Probably. I don't know. That might be a good example. That might be a good idea. Maybe Titania gets cancelled. Maybe I should find a way to have her.
Yes.
Because she probably messes up sometimes.
Well, once people find out that Titania is actually a man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll do it because it's funny you mentioned the transgender child because I've just written a book as her aimed at children, right? Because of that, have you seen this? Well, you've seen the woke children's books, right?
Yes. I made a joke about one, Feminist Baby. She's got a bullhorn.
Feminist Baby.
But a bullhorn. Does a feminist need a bullhorn?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ. She's screaming about issues. She's a baby.
Yeah, but she needs to be heard. Don't silence her truth.
Look at that.
Feminist Baby.
Finds her voice. Her voice is in a bullhorn?
Right, there we go.
Meanwhile, if she's a feminist, why is she wearing fucking makeup when she's a baby? That's just rude.
It's, yeah.
That's rude. Because that's the goddamn patriarchy.
That's socializing young babies to be sex objects.
Oh, that's a boy. He's a feminist too. Christ. How does he even know what a boy or a girl is?
How many of these are there?
He's a baby.
These look like they're aimed very much at very young kids as well. Like
it's aimed at the mothers and fathers of very young kids who want to let everybody know they're woke. And they probably only pull them out when people come over the house.
Oh yeah, just put them on the coffee table. So everyone knows. I mean, but this is you're scraping the surface here. So one of the big selling books was Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls, which is like each chapter is about a major feminist icon. That's aimed at young kids. There's one called C is for Consent. That's aimed at very young kids. There's one called The Little Girl Who Gave Zero Fucks. Right? This sort of... You know what? It's funny. I look at this stuff. I think this is such flagrant indoctrination. You're not even hiding it anymore.
Right.
There's nothing subtle about this, you know?
Yeah.
So like I've written a book as Titania, and she's trying to. It's called My First Little Book of Intersectional Activism, right? Because she can't get it right. She talks to kids like they're just sociologists or something. She can't get it right, which is fun. And she says to them, you know, your parents hate you. You know, you should ditch them. Like I think that's the way to do it.
Well, that's what every cult does.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the things that cults do, one of the hallmarks of cults is they try to separate you from your parents.
Yeah. Or if you get the kids young, then you can get their minds eventually, can't you? So maybe is that the solution? Trying to make sure it doesn't get the young. Maybe
I don't know if there is a solution. I think there are patterns that always exist, and religions pop up like. Why Christianity? Why Mormonism? Why Islam? Why what causes these patterns? patterns, these ideological patterns. What causes them? What causes them to take hold? What causes them their followers to become rabid? I don't know what it is, but they exist, and they have existed throughout history. There's literally hundreds of them.
Is it a need for purpose? Is it a need to feel that you are the one pursuing the truth?
It's certainly there's instincts that we all have to be a part of a group and to be accepted as a part of a group. And one of the ways that you show that you're a part of that group is by rigidly adhering to the doctrine.